So I thought I'm gonna stream a little bit, talk about the markets, see what I'm seeing in semiconductors, crypto, opportunities maybe. So yeah, if you have questions, feel free to ask them, and I'm here to check all the charts with you. So let's first look at the S&P 500 because it made new all-time highs. You can see that yesterday it made new highs and it broke out after a while trading sideways, and then eventually we saw it break higher. Now, I have been saying that every dip is an opportunity. You can see that when the markets make new all-time highs. I'm sorry, my daughter is screaming. I'm just gonna give her um something and then I'll be back. Just a second. All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I was saying that the market um, has made the 27th high. And if we look at the statistics of the markets making new highs, we only saw the markets make 27 highs two times before. So it was in 1954 and 1959. So those are the only two times the market made um, all-time highs 27 times and then made it bear market out of all the times since 1929. So that's a very low probability that the market is going into a bear market. So I would say it's very likely that we will see new all-time highs at least one more time. And even if it's happening one more time, the number 28 hasn't been really showing up a lot. Most of the time, it's the market with no all-time highs and a lot of all-time highs at the end of the year. Usually, the market tops in January or December, um, just because the market keeps going up or goes in a bear market at the start of the year. That's just how things go. So my stance now is that I am still bullish and I still feel like every dip we see is a buying opportunity. So you could buy the S&P on shallow drops to 3 to 5% are great pullbacks to add on, because I don't think we will see very big pullbacks unless the war should escalate in something very unpredictable. But for now, things look stable, and I don't see a bear market in the near future. Now the question should be, how can we outperform the S&P 500? Because you can simply buy the index and you can chill. Um, but I always look for opportunities, deep value, and assets that outperform the market. So for starters, let's look at the Nasdaq. So you can see that the Nasdaq is actually not yet at all-time highs. So it didn't make all-time highs while the stock market did. So we are seeing a little bit of weakness in the Nasdaq, but how it usually goes is whenever the S&P makes new highs, the Nasdaq usually follows. So I also believe that every pullback we see in the Nasdaq will be a buy the dip opportunity, and it will catch up to the S&P and even lead the S&P. Now, the time frame for the SM for the Nasdaq to lead again is more likely to happen somewhere in October. Why? Because from August till October is usually more choppy in a midterm election year. And once we are past the midterms, things are more risk on, especially going from Q4 to April the next year. So in 2027, that's when growth stocks will more likely outperform the basic index. So one thing I am planning to do is going a little bit more heavy into tech as we approach that October timeframe. So that's with the index of the Nasdaq. That's, in my opinion, one of the safest bet you can do. If we go a little bit more risk on, you have the semiconductor ETF, of course, and the semiconductor ETF. I've showed it on my X account that I'm watching this head and shoulder pattern unfold. So here you can see the head and shoulder of the inverse head and shoulder, sorry, of the SMH, and you can see that it has broken above the neckline, coming for a retest. So now what we like to see is a move higher. So whenever the market dropped, I was buying the semiconductor ETF, and I believe it's also gonna reclaim the highs from June again. So that is a little bit more risk on, but still um, l- still safer than buying individual stocks. I do believe semiconductors have running pretty high, as you can see. So for me, this is gonna be a trade. When I feel like things go parabolic, I will scale out. For the Nasdaq, not so much. The Nasdaq, I have confidence that um, it's a trending index that will continue to make new highs and follow the S&P 500. But for the semiconductors, I think when things go parabolic, you have to trim some, take some profits, because when things go parabolic, yeah, you wanna be ready to buy the dip. As you saw here, the best time to trim was going up, and then buy again when there was a more correction. And the reason why I was buying the semiconductors here was because I watched the average semiconductor stock in the ETF, um, and checked how much of them are below their 20 moving average or 50 moving average, and the number was zero. So it showed that a lot of these semiconductors were deeply oversold, basically, and were due for a rebound. And especially when I saw that the fund of that one young guy who was long on all the data center stocks and um, ship makers, he got liquidated with billions of assets vanished in just a few days. Well, that was for me the moment to say, okay, we have had a big flush, and now it's time to go harder on semiconductors. So still not the most risky play here. For my eToro portfolio, which you can fully check on eToro itself and see what I hold in my portfolio. This is something I hold. Um, then we have individual stocks. So let's look at some of the individual stocks now that I am adding. The bigger player is NVIDIA, of course. So NVIDIA, maybe I'll show it on here with all the lines. It's gonna be bad to see. So here we are on the app that I've built called Pinfolio, um, which I use every day to check charts, to post them on X, to check my own portfolio, do research, and a lot of cool tools to find gems in the markets. But Nvidia is the one I am buying because I do feel this one is still undervalued. I have this tool where it helps me to um, calculate the intrinsic value of Nvidia. Um, it's not my calculations, but it's using the discounted cash flow strategy. So it should give you a fair value of Nvidia. So here it's valued at 305. Let me check what I have 250. So this is $50 higher than my fair value. And it's telling me that we can have deep value already below $200. So that's actually where I was buying below $200. If you like, it can also help you put some resistance and support levels. So showing you where you could eventually buy as well based on support levels. But there was a interesting stat actually on NVIDIA. I'm going to show you that I shared in the Substack. So I want to see, sorry, I want to see how it's going here. So this stat tells me Nvidia has averaged 7% gain in the window over the past 20 years from August 6 to August 30. So right now we're August 14. We'll have to check August 6 to August 30 what time frame this is and how far Nvidia has been going up already because it's saying that 85% of those years Nvidia has been positive. So that's a decent trade to try. So let's see. August 6, that is here somewhere. Yeah. And August 30 is where it ends. Sorry, August 30. All right. So you can see within this box, there is an expectation of an average 7% gain. So right now, Nvidia is already up 2.8% since that day. And if it's going up 7% on average, which of course is the average, so it could always go higher, Nvidia would be trading at 234. Let's see if that's an all-time high. Nope, not an all-time high. But again, that's an average. So I am long Nvidia, and again, this is a trade where Nvidia usually goes up within a certain time frame over the last 20 years. So that's just something I'm laying out there. So a move of 7%. From here, it's around 225. So another $10 up. Do with that what you want. Let's say Nvidia drops below the starter price of August 6th, then I will probably buy a little bit more Nvidia that I can sell at the 30th of August. So first of all, I want to say thank you, Mom, IAD, the Black Line, Aram, Gary, Matthew, Manu Castle, Quanta, everyone for joining. I hope you find this info relevant. We're just talking about the markets and where we can find opportunities. Another stock that I've been uh, adding today even is Broadcom. So I posted about Broadcom. When was this? Yeah. So Broadcom drops following reports of VMware security vulnerability. And then I ask, are you buying this dip? Well, I am buying the dip. Um, so my fair value for Broadcom is around $405. Let's see what Infolio tells me. So this again is my AI tool that helps me to check the value levels of Broadcom. So now it's gonna calculate and give me a few levels to buy as well. I don't know, maybe the calculations will tell that it's overvalued. So let's see. Okay, it's still undervalued. The fair value is at 420. So mine is lower. Mine is 405. This fair value is 420. So not so far away from mine. And we are at the starters level to buy. Next level to buy would be at 280, according to the AI tool, and even lower, 350 if we get there. So it's pretty close to my own calculation. Now, I always say valuations are something that can vary depending on which metrics you use. Sometimes you can have more like a window. Like, for example, here I would say buying between 420, 420 405 as a fair value zone, and buying below it is a decent range to have in mind. We also know Broadcom is gonna report earnings soon in September to September. If it's another beat, which it usually does, the value increases as well. So then this AI tool will also include the valuation um, and calculate based on the new earnings. So that's a quick way to find a good way to evaluate a stock, of course. So Broadcom, if it drops more, I will be buying more. And I think my allocation in Broadcom is now around 1.5%. It would be nice to have around 2.5. Nvidia for me is more around 7. But I do want to increase my semiconductor exposure a little bit more on eToro. I have a lot of software. So here is the list of my software stocks. We had a lot of gains yesterday with the software index. Stocks like Palantir have been moving. Microsoft after earnings have been moving. ServiceNow have been moving back at the upper range. There's the cybersecurity stock, Palo Alto, that I'm owning, that has been moving relatively high, which I'm not buying, by the way, right now, but I do still hold it in my portfolio. just not buying. I I see opportunities in software if they're not going up too much. So so these are basically some of the software stocks that I believe are deep value plays. They have been going down from the highs for about 60%. I think I posted about it here. So since they made highs, some of them are down 60%. And I gave you a list of six or seven even strong software stocks that you could hold. Snow is actually um, only down 14% comparing to ServiceNow still down 43%. Uh, Workday was the reason why the market or software index was moving up yesterday was because um, there was rumors of them being acquired. I have not been following the news, but I know this is the reason why. And then Oracle still 50% from the highs. Diva System, if you're into healthcare, it's one of the best software stocks within the healthcare sector. So we had so far the index, we had semiconductors, we had software, and I still want to discuss crypto and um, something Trump said, did over the last 24 hours, and some opportunities to watch over there. But first, let me look at crypto. So crypto, Bitcoin, of course, has been basically flat for the last few weeks. You can see not much happening. There is basically no trend. If you put on the 20 moving average, is basically flat. Uh, the the 50 daily moving average flat as well. You can see it's trending nowhere. So this is the trendless market, low volatility. A chart that has no trend. This is trendless. So for me, there's nothing to do. Every Thursday, I check the market. I check for altcoins. There's a few altcoins that are in a good uptrend, but I treat them as trades because I don't want to just hold them knowing that Bitcoin could fall any minute. And then we know the whole altcoin market will go down. So I am holding Bitcoin in my portfolio. Now it's around 8% after it dropped a lot this year. So the plan is just simple for me that I will still accumulate Bitcoin if it drops lower. Um, but I'm not trying to trade it because this market is gonna chop me around. And personally, I am at this phase where I let my AI agents trade for me. So I have a few agents that do the scalping and have signals uh, tell me whenever the trend is still or whenever the trend is changing into an uptrend, and then I know I'm gonna be more aggressive. But trading myself, I know I'm gonna lose money. I know it's not my best um, strategy to do, so I leave it up to my agents. Accumulating Bitcoin is still something I love doing. So let's say we see this level break of 20 of $62,000, then yeah, we could see a retest again of the lower levels here at 57 and even make new lows. I see that as very possible. I am watching the 54 level, the 54, 55K level here is the level I am watching to add more if we drop. And if there is a real spike down, then it will be that 45,000 level. But I'm not saying it's going there. I'm saying I will buy there. Let's say Bitcoin trends sideways till the end of the year. We know the the bear market usually takes around 12 months, and we are now very close to 12 months. So here you can see the red box, that's 12 months, and we are approaching the end of the red box, which means after the bear market is done, we will see a green box happening again, hopefully as bullish as last time, hopefully even more bullish. But usually we retest the highs. So the plan is to go fully allocated once we are back in the green box, and basically trim once we go up again. I track the 10-month moving average. It's sloping down now. So the trend is down. Once you see the trend shift, so it's going to stable the 10-month moving average. It's going to do something like this, perhaps like this, and then move up again. And if the market, so Bitcoin, can slowly trend up here, that will be a good sign. So I will be buying in this zone. Basically, I don't mind if Bitcoin is going up and that I have to buy higher, that's okay. Or if you see Bitcoin make like a last spike down, that's also a good level to buy. But based on the cycle view, 1 year would be enough for having a complete washout of leverage, of sentiment of every retail trader. Uh, they won't believe Bitcoin will recover again, um, based on sentiment or based on fears of AI, quantum fears, whatever you name it. I am taking the risk to go fully allocated and then wait. Wait and see if we can get another green box like we had this time. So that's really the plan with Bitcoin. Whenever Bitcoin is back in an uptrend, yeah, I will look at altcoins more. I will hold them also for a longer duration with stop losses, but wider from, um, let's say, the the stop loss will be wider from the price. So I give it a little bit more room to be volatile, because in a bull market things can go volatile as well, and you don't want to be stopped out before the price goes up again. All right, guys, any questions? Um, John, thanks for joining. The last thing I wanted to discuss, it's not the biggest opportunity out there, but Trump just put 100% tariffs on imported drones. So that means all focus now goes to the drones from the US market. And we have a few drones that are up today. UMAC is up 22% even. So that is unusual machines. Let's check the ticker. So it was up 14% pre-market, and now it's already up 22%. So on the day, you can see it's up 23%. On the week, it's already up 26%. So you could say this has been running up a lot already. But if you recall, so this is probably something Trump is invested to. I'm just speculating. Um, but I remember when he was mentioning that he bought Intel. You can see from the 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 moment he said he was invested to where it's at now is a decent amount. So it went up around 200%. I'm not saying you should invest in um, all these companies, but you could do it with like play money if you have a percentage of your portfolio less than 1% that you put in these stocks, and you say, I'm gonna forget about it. We'll see in um, 10, 10 days, 10 weeks. We'll see how it goes. And it might make such a move like Intel did. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm not even gonna touch this with my eToro portfolio. My eToro portfolio is there to bring steady uh, growth. So I'm not taking too much risk. I think there's enough risk being already into crypto and stocks, 20% crypto, 80% stocks. So I don't want to speculate too much with all of these assets on the eToro site, but for my personal account, these are some setups that I like, some trades that I like, just for the short term, and see how it goes. So that's it, guys. Those are like the opportunities that I see in the market right now. Um, I hope you I hope you enjoyed it. Again, you can check out Inffolio yourself. It's live in the eToro App Store, where you can connect your broker basically with Inffolio, check all your holdings, um, the performance, the trades, analyze them. We have some cool tools where Congress is tracked, where you have investors to track. You get alerts when other people buy. Me, for example, you can add me in the watch list, and every time I'm buying, you will get an alert. There is the asset allocator, dividend income overview, uh, your own trading journal, if you like. And of course, I'm building um, way more on it to improve it. Uh, this is the Infolio app live on the eToro App Store, and I have the links in my blogs as well if you would like to search for it. So, guys, thanks for joining. It was a 30-minute stream on a 38 degrees weather today. So I hope you appreciate it. I appreciate it that you guys were here following along. Thanks for stopping by on this hot weather. And again, if you have questions with something, you can always private message me. I'm always there to discuss markets with you. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I see you next week. Bye.